Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and mock and give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And we're going to be starting the 2024 NFL Draft Mock the Mocks with the special one. We're doing the GOAT, Mike Renner. He is now at the Messenger. We're going to be checking out his mock draft. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. This draft order is determined based on Super Bowl odds, or at least current Super Bowl odds, prior to last night's game, which we could talk about in for a good hour. There was a lot that went down in that Kansas City Detroit game. But let's get this sucker started with the Arizona Cardinals taking Caleb Williams. Some Cardinals fans kind of disagree with this, and I don't blame them. It's kind of hard to imagine them being able to get out of Kyler Murray's contract. And to be fair, they're not going to, if they do move him, they're not going to get out unscathed. I mean, a team that wants to trade for Kyler Murray, it's going to have to be like, they're going to have to take on a lot of that contract. But I mean, Kyler Murray is like a top 12 quarterback in the league. So, I mean, it really depends if you're the Cardinals. Like, what's more likely, getting a king's ransom for the first overall pick, or pass it on Caleb Williams, or getting probably a really good haul for Kyler Murray and just taking Caleb Williams because it's a new coaching staff, it's a new regime. And I mean, honestly, I'm kind of back and forth. I see both sides of it, but yeah, I mean, if you are gonna move Kyler Murray, because I mean, to be fair, the coaching staff's been thus far, the new coach staff, they're loyal to, at least on the outside, they seem loyal to Kyler Murray. Oh, he's gonna be a team leader. He's a captain. We have great plans for him. We're not gonna throw him on the IR. We want to bring him back. I don't think they initially at least threw him on the IR, but I don't know. That's yet to be seen. We'll find out more, obviously, as the season goes. But Caleb Williams he's the first overall pick, guys. I think there's a huge chasm between him and seemingly quarterback two for a lot of people, Drake Maye. He's just that good of a prospect. Really, really is. Who has pick 2 here? It is the Arizona Cardinals. So yeah, getting Marvin Mims out of this is kind of the no-brainer, right? Marvin Mims. Do like Marvin Mims, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of the no-brainer. The dude is that good. It's gonna be hard to really expect someone to get up to his level, but honestly, I think Keon Coleman can. Like, watch out for Keon Coleman, man. I think he's gonna make some noise. I don't know if he challenges Marvin Harrison Jr. for that wide receiver 1, but very impressive showing against LSU. But that's kind of the dream, right? Get in your franchise quarterback and then pair him up with a franchise weapon. That is kind of the dream. And then depending on what you could get back for Kyler Murray, and yeah, you might have to eat some dead cap, at least for the 2024 season, but it might be worth it, honestly. Might be worth it, especially if you consider your team overall is going to kind of get least expensive, because you're going to be bringing a lot of rookies on. You're going to have a lot of 2-3 year players who are on their rookie deals. So let's not act like it's not out of the cards. It's really not. Who is pick 3 here? Tampa Bay, maybe? No, it's Indianapolis Colts. They're taking Brock Bowers. Currently, Jelani Woods is on the PUP, I believe. Or did he go to IR? I can't remember which. They got Mo Alley Cox. He's kind of more of a tight end too. They were kind of hoping Woods could kind of merge as tight end 1 there. They got Kyler Granson, who's honestly just kind of a big slot, really. And like, Brock Bowers could do a lot of different things. So if they're comfortable with their tackle positions, taking a weapon like Brock Bowers is not a bad idea. So Yeah, I mean, this is early on. I don't think there's going to be many picks I disagree with, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Tampa Bay Buccaneers take Drake Maye. If you the Bucks, you get Drake Maye. I mean, we know Baker's just kind of a stopgap. Just a stopgap. I don't have a lot of faith that Kyle Trask will be the guy. I don't think the Bucks do either. You probably just see him as a solid backup at this point. Or else he would be starting this year, not Baker. So they grab Drake Maye. If he's available, it's kind of the no-brainer pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that is very talented. All right, Las Vegas Raiders go Olu Fashanu. I like this. Let's think about their tackle situation. Colton Miller. I mean, he should be their left tackle from here on out. They do have Jermaine. I'm going to call him Jermaine E. It's like Eleanor. That's probably mispronouncing it, but he's kind of stepped up and been pretty darn solid. Like, let's quickly let's just take a quick look. Colton Miller's contract. I mean, he's one of the best tackle. Like, he's like a top 5, top 10 tackle in the league. So it's not like you want to like move on from him. But like financially, he's 3 years, $54 million contract. Yeah, that contract doesn't come due till 2025. So yeah. You'd be looking at your right tackle position here. Fashanu would be a solid pickup, so I'm all here for it. I really am. So yeah, Raiders, they grabbed that. Don't know really if there's I don't really think there's a top 10 quarterback as of right now. A lot of people want to say maybe Michael Penix, but for me, Michael Penix, I just want to see him be healthy for the remainder of the year. Really. And then I don't mind him kind of throwing him in this top 15 status because he's got the talent of that. It's just a bit of a roll of the dice considering his first 4 years in college. It was 4 straight years of season-ending injuries. So it's going to be the big red flag. But I think he's kind of a plug-and-play ready. Honestly, probably should be a back into the first-round guy, at least for me right now. I think maybe I need to move him up. I'll probably do that right after this video. The Commanders, they go J.C. Latham out of Alabama. So they go tackle. I mean, I know you got Charles Leno there. And Leno's like fine. He's fine, guys. He's just fine. They brought in Andrew Wiley, 3 years, like $24 million, and he's pretty mediocre. Samuel Cosme's now a guard, though I think he probably would he's gonna be great at guard, but I mean he should be their tackle. JC Latham, this is too early for me when it comes to him. I think he's still very unpolished, especially as a run blocker. He just kind of overextends, turns into a bit of a lunger, doesn't show good contact balance, attacks with wide hands. So there's a few things there with him, but I get it when it comes to like you look at just his build and you're like, man, this is an NFL tackle. But to be in the top 10 right now, I ain't there with him. I feel better about him at the back end of the first round. But again, very early in the season. So a lot of us are doing some projecting. All right, let's look at... We got the Los Angeles Rams going with Jared Verse. Their pass rush is atrocious. It's terrible. Maybe Byron Young's going to do some good things this year, but outside of said Aaron Donald, they got nothing defensively. That defense is in a total rebuild. So grabbing one of the top defenders makes sense to me. I love Jared Verse. That was kind of like my dude last draft season. I remember prior to the season, I saw a spring game and I included him in my top 10 edge video, and it was nice to see him kind of break out. All right, we got New England Patriots. Armarius Mims. This cat, I really think is going to contend for tackle 1 in this class. I really do. I think we're looking at a class very similar to a couple of years ago with Charles Cross, Ike Ekwonu, and Evan Neal, where it's like really any 3 of those guys can go in whatever which order. I think we have that with Joe Alt, who I think Joe Alt's probably a bit more well-rounded than your Olu Fashanu And even our Marius Mims, honestly, just we need to see a full year of production. We saw the last 2 playoff games, and that's about it. So him going to the Patriots, good get. They just put Riley Reef on IR. They have Calvin Anderson, who honestly should have been starting in front of him. And then the unreliable health-wise, Trent Brown. So tackle makes sense for the Patriots. Chicago Bears, they go with Chop Robinson. I didn't watch the Penn State-West Virginia game this week, and I haven't got into it. So I don't know how Chop did this past weekend. But this dude his get off is probably the best in this class. Like, it's hard to find someone with as special as a get off as Chop Robinson, and he wasn't even a full-time starter last year. Like, he was basically a rotation player, so I cannot wait to see what he does in a full-time role. And the Bears, their defensive line, PP poo-poo. They could use some more talent. We got the Tennessee Titans go Kool-Aid McKinstry. All right, I like this pick of a corner. Obviously, they missed on the Caleb Farley, who he's not starting this year, not because of injury, but obviously the tragedy that happened with his father at his home. So let's not get on him for that, but he just hasn't been able to be healthy the last couple of seasons. They have Roger McCreary. Sounds like he's going to be playing in the slot this year, so that's a little bit interesting. Christian Fulton, when healthy, really good for him. They bring in Sean Murphy-Bunting, but he's only on a 1-year deal, so they could be in the market to maybe grab another corner, and this be the top corner in the class, at least to me, is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Dude can attack the ball. He had like 16 pass breakups in 2022. All right, this is funny. With the Chicago Bears' second pick, they're like, no, we need all of the edge talent. And to be fair, did the Bears, they brought in, did they bring in Gervon Dexter? And did they bring in Zach Pickens? Correct? I just want to confirm that. So they did double dip last year on the interior. Yes, it was both those guys. They're probably not going to be the starters, but they did double dip on that interior. When it comes to the edge, they have Yannick, but is he a long-term option? Probably not. DeMarcus Walker, I think, is a fine rotation player that could do some things for him. That he's just very versatile. And they have Dominic Robinson, who they're kind of hoping to develop. But to double dip at edge is not always a bad idea. You're coming out with Chop Robinson, stupid explosive. Dallas Turner, stupid explosive. This guy's got really good twitch, a little undersized, but I think that's okay. We saw Will Anderson, people were commenting on his size, and I don't think Dallas Turner is nearly as strong as Will Anderson was, but Will Anderson got to that 250. I think Dallas Turner can as well. Dallas Turner exceptionally young. Okay, the Atlanta Falcons, they go Nate Wiggins. He was featured in my cornerback rankings video, just not in my top 10. But if you remember, or if you even watched it, at the end of the video, I like to talk about guys that just missed out on the list. And I talked about 2 players that with big seasons will be unanimous first round picks. One of them was, boy, you just go back to the video and watch it. But one was Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins, I was like, this guy can be it. He is rangy. He could literally turn a turnover into 6 points. I think it was it Rutgers? I can't remember specifically, but he had like a 92-yard touchdown return. Just nice. And the Falcons, to be fair, they could probably use more options at corner outside of AJ Terrell. So Wiggins would be a good pick here if you're going to project him in the first round. I don't think you're wrong. I took more of the wait and see approach with him because he did start in the doghouse last year, end of last year, or this off season. But I know Dabo's really praised his maturity over the course of the last year. All right, we got A.D. Mitchell going to the Giants, and this would be nice. I mean, A.D. Mitchell, I think, is going to end up probably being like this, like fringe first, maybe early second round pick. Maybe he even goes higher than that. It's just we haven't seen him at full capacity. If you remember, he was hurt much of last year for Georgia, so he gets to play this year fully healthy for the Texas Longhorns, who have a lot of firepower. He just has a great build. He's got long field speed. So if you want to project him being a first rounder, I don't mind it. I'm just not there yet, just because I want to see more. It's nothing really to do with the talent we've seen on the field, because he really showed out in the playoffs last year for Georgia. So, and I mean, the Giants, they need to add different type of receivers. They really, really do. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going back-to-back years with a Penn State corner. Kalen Keene going to pair him up with his former teammate, Joey Porter Jr. I didn't do this in my mock draft because I was like, it just doesn't seem like something that'll happen. I mean, we're so early in the process. Who cares? But I like this. Obviously, they're not done at corner. They want to add more pieces back there. Corey Trice, I think, he's on IR, but someone who ended up falling, who a lot of people had as a day 2 pick, ended up falling to the 7th round because of medicals, and then ultimately gets to training camp, and they ended up having to shut him down. I don't know if he's out for the year. I know he's on IR though, but that's someone that they're going to be trying to develop. You got Patrick Peterson. He's more of like a Joe Hayden option, where it's like, yeah, he's really there just to kind of like bring some consistency and mentor the next generation. So I like the idea of adding Kalen Keene. A little more stout, but that's a-okay. That's a-okay. This guy's got a nose for the football. Broncos take Johnny Newton or Jazon Newton out of Illinois. So they get a nasty penetrator. Oh, wow. The first line here in Mike Renner's little description is the loss of Draymond Jones. So they get that penetrator back. But honestly, probably a better run defender than Draymond Jones. Okay, I mean, that's not exactly what Draymond Jones was known for. He was fine as a run defender, but like Newton has been elite when it comes to college ball at defending the run, and he's just so quick off the line. Like, he's someone that's gonna be in the backfield quick. He's gonna be a problem for opposing offenses. So I actually like that pick for the Broncos. The New Orleans Saints take Bo Nix. Wow, no love for Derek Carr, I see. Let's read this. If you didn't stay up for Pac-12 After Dark, well, it wasn't After Dark on my side of the country. This may be a little shocking based on the guy that we've seen 3 years at Auburn. KOK talks about his nice 4-game stretch against UCLA, Cal, Colorado, Washington. He's an uber toolsy quarterback, that I agree, who can be a real weapon as a runner. Though he needs one more season to prove his turnover-prone ways are a thing of the past. To be fair, after that Georgia season opener last year, he was very good. The decision making was much better. He was less risque with the ball. Let's go with that. So yeah, no, I don't disagree with this notion. People laughed when I put Bo Nix in the first round in my mock. It's like, come on, guys. Bo Nix ain't all that bad. He's the guy. He's starting to look like the guy that a lot of people thought he would be after his freshman year at Auburn. I don't know about that for the Saints, though. I think Derek Carr will be fine enough for them to keep him around. Joe Alt falling here at a 17 is just a great pick. I think Joe Alt's going to be a top 10 pick. He's going to be up there with the Olufashanyus and the potentially let's just say Mims. Was it Amarius? There we go. Wow. But he's going to be up there with them. So, like, him falling 17 is kind of a crime here. But it kind of makes it's just great value. You do think you have something in the future there with Zach Tom at right tackle. But David Bakhtiari, how healthy can he stay? It's kind of the question. He did look good when he came back, though, last season. Pittsburgh Steelers. Seattle Seahawks, they take JT Toimolau. We're going to call him JT. This dude needs to display the gifts he possesses. I haven't watched back that Indiana game for Ohio State, but defensively, it looks like, I mean, they held Indiana to all of 3 points. So I imagine defensively they did exceptionally well. It was the offense that kind of was stagnant for Ohio State. But when it comes to JT, dude, this is a dude that has all the tools, really does. Just kind of needs to refine his game. There's not a lot of counters in what he does. Looking up what he did. Okay, 2 pass rushes on 14 pass rushing snaps. Looked solid, apparently. Graded solid enough as a run blocker. I ain't gonna lie, no one really stood out here. I mean, Michael Hall Jr. had himself a game. Okay, it doesn't look like they were using Jack Sawyer as an off-ball player. Oh, they did that so many times last year. Really got under my craw. Is that a saying? I'm going to use it like that. Oh, by the way, if y'all haven't noticed, I got the Detroit Blues celebrating Detroit's win last night. Good on y'all, Detroit. Good on y'all, Detroit. But more edge help? I don't know, man. Seattle, I guess they could go with more edge talent. But, like, I feel like there's other areas. Like, maybe you start looking for the successor to Geno. Keep in mind, guys, Geno will be 34 enter the 2024 season. So maybe a Michael Penix Jr. Or you go with one of the younger talents in this class, like a J.J. McCarthy, a Quinn Ewers, a Shadur Sanders. That's on the table here. Maybe a little too early to project those guys in the first round, but just saying, on the table. Shoot, man. Maybe getting more girthy in the middle. I mean, I don't think I want to take an offensive interior like a guard or a center here. So, yeah, it might really just come down to best player available. Maybe safety. It could be something. All right, Minnesota, they take Leonard Taylor. Ooh, I love Leonard Taylor. I think I wouldn't mind maybe going corner like a Cooper DeJean. But I mean, how much does he fit into... I mean, he's a great athlete, but how much does he really fit into Flores's coverage scheme? You know? Like, you think about it, and it's like, he plays for a very zone-heavy defense there at Iowa, to where he's going to be playing a lot of man here for Minnesota. But to be fair, they played a lot of quarters where you'd be playing a ton of man coverage. But then again, I don't think I've seen too many reps of DeJean in press. But then again, he's very flexible. I mean, he's got a great build. So maybe he's a safety. Maybe you play him in the slot. Maybe you play him outside. You can do a lot of different things with him. Regardless, Leonard Taylor's a monster. I freaking love me some Leonard Taylor. And I'm still waiting for the Hurricanes to truly release him. He was playing a lot of reps at nose tackle against, was it Miami, Ohio, the Hurricanes faced? But Leonard Taylor, watch out for him to really kind of like break out and be maybe a top 15 prospect. I was a big fan of his take. I'm trying to think in terms of how he fits for Minnesota. I think it's fine. Houston Texans, they go Malik Neighbors. They love after the catch ability. That's just what a Shanahan offense likes to do, and that's Bobby Slowick. He's coming from Shanahan's offense. He's going to look for those guys that can create after the catch. Malik Neighbors is exactly that. How many forced missed tackles did he have last year? I have it somewhere here in my draft notes, draft guide, wherever the hell you want to call it, my Google spreadsheet. 21 forced missed tackles last season, so a ton. All right. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just get a big boy in the middle in Chris Jenkins. Devon Hamilton, I think he starts the year on the pup. You got also Fadakasi there, who's just really hasn't lived up to his contract, unfortunately. Some of that injuries played a little bit in that, but like Chris Jenkins, very technically sound, good run defender, incredibly strong, and he's put on the weight. Like Michigan had him listed at 285. He was playing at 285 last year. He's up to 305. I love that for him. I just want to see some pass rush upside from him. But at the very least, you're going to get a very good, very special athlete, very technically sound, that can play the run exceptionally well, who might have a little bit of a pass rush upside. So he's just played all over the line for Michigan. Miami Dolphins, they go Kingsley, Sue. I'm looking if I got a pronunciation in my notes. You're kidding. You're kidding. Out of all the names, I didn't write a pronunciation for him. I'll get back to it. Regardless, Kingsley, former Oregon tackle, when moved back closer to home, so when it came to moving to BYU, looked really good. A guy that has the length, he has the tools. I love the athleticism. I love the power. He just needs to put it all together in terms of just how he uses his hands, his footwork. So like a very toolsy prospect. I think I actually had him going to the Dolphins in my mock draft too. Dolphins could definitely use a tackle. I don't trust Austin Jackson. And let's be honest, Terran Armstead, he's going to be missing some games. He does it every year. Los Angeles Chargers, they go with Cooper DeJean, who is a very versatile back. That's actually a great pickup. They lost Nazir Adderley, who retired, which is a shame, man. He had a banger of a season last year. And, I mean, they could probably use more help if things don't look on the up for J.C. Jackson. Perhaps you get a Cooper DeJean, who's just versatile. You can play outside, play safety, play in the slot, so you kind of love that. All right, the Detroit Lions, they go with Graham Barton, just added to that interior, and it looks like that Renner's looking at him like a guard, which is fair. He might have sub arm length. To be fair, Big Daddy V played one hell of a game last night for the Lions. I don't know if they've restructured his contract or anything yet, but if they want to extend him, I don't think I'd mind that if they could do it at a good cost. But they also have Graham Glasgow as a backup there, which is just wild. Just a wild notion to me. They are so talented on the interior. I think I would definitely go elsewhere with this pick. Graham Barton, though, really good athlete. Green Bay Packers, they get this pick if Aaron Rodgers plays more than 60% of the offensive snaps. I think it's safe to say, outside of injury, he probably will. They grab Cam Kitchens, so this becomes the Packers pick, obviously, if that happens. Which, honestly, like, Savage has kind of been bad recently after having a promising rookie year. So he's likely out after this season. They have Rudy Gay, but get him better at the safety position is not a bad idea at all, especially with Cam Kitchens, who has just got some special range, nose for the football. The Baltimore Ravens. Oh, buddy! I love this. They take Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. I actually watched this guy. And last year he played Ohio State pretty well. He did give up a touchdown to Marvin Harrison, which, I mean, okay, yeah, we're talking about one of the top receivers in this class. But I thought he played him well. I really did, even on the touchdown. It was just like, Marvin Harrison's that good. To be honest, like, I think this guy had a 4-pick game that kind of inflated some of his stats. But the dude is strong. And I'm kind of curious if he will run as fast as reported, because I didn't necessarily see that speed on the field. Not to say he was slow, but that it did seem like he wasn't the fastest guy. And they're talking that he might be running the 4.3s, which I might be shocked. I kind of believe maybe more of the, like, we're talking like maybe the 4.45 to 4.5. That's kind of where I thought I saw him. But he does come downhill with a head full of steam. So I don't know. We'll see. But the dude is strong. And I'm curious if we'll see more ball skill or ball production from him. Keep in mind, Northern Illinois, a lot of his ball production came from that one game. Look at that. They even listed 4 interceptions a game. By the way, 2 of them went for pick sixes. Ravens always could add more talent at corner too, so that's kind of a good get. Cowboys, the rich get richer. They get Emeka Buka. They could honestly part ways from Michael Gallup. If they don't feel good about Jalen Tolbert as kind of the next guy up, then sure, I can see a world in which this happens. Emeka Buka, I think at his best, will be a slot receiver in the NFL, but I think he has a chance to be a really good one. We're talking Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Fun fact, though, CeeDee Lamb kind of operates the same way. He is at his best in that slot role. So, I mean, I guess getting guys with inside-outside versatility is nice, but I don't know. If I'm the Cowboys, I mean, where else do you really go if you're the Cowboys? Running back? You could start trying to help out that offensive interior. Maybe you'd be the first team to take a guard off the board. What's up, Aquila? Dogs, man. But I don't know. I mean, to be fair, the talent at this point is really good. Emeka Buka is a top 20 guy. Johnny Wilson going to the Bengals. This guy's just built different. Why? Talk about the rich get richer. You're looking to replace T. Higgins? Is that what's going on here? Oh, he lists him as a tight end. Oh, that's kind of sexy. I like that. Oh, wow. You know what? I'm all for this, because we know Irv Smith Jr. He ain't it. I'm all for this. Johnny Wilson, I like him at tight end, because I mean he's a good blocker. Like, you can use him in line like that. So, holy moly, man, dude just built different. We got the Niners going with Barrett Carter. Ooh, I want to read a little more into this. Carter's one of the more athletic, most athletic linebacker prospects these eyes have ever seen. Oh, wow. Everyone is looking for a linebacker that they don't have to worry about getting left one-on-one with a receiver, but you can't count on one, or you can count on one hand a linebacker who can actually pull that off. Carter's one of them. The scary thing is that if this pick comes to fruition, the 49ers will have 2 of them and Fred Warner as well. What about Dre Greenlaw? You don't even address Dre Greenlaw here? My dog. Have they extended Greenlaw? Should have typed in contract. Look at this. We're doing all our research here. Love it. 2 years, $16 million. That's the current deal he's on. There is a potential out for him this year. It would clear $9.5 million. But I mean, he's so young. You're gonna want to try to extend him, right? See if you could do it at a cheap cost. I don't know if I don't think the 49ers are in a cap situation that might allow them to do that, though. So that could be foreseeable. Bills get a speedy threat that can create after the catch and just be nasty vertical wise. Do have to I hope season long where these hands get better. He had a lot of just dumb drops. I say dumb drops because I know his hands are much better than that. I've seen this guy go up and just snag it. The Bills, they have Gabe Davis. He's very hot and cold. So, I mean, grabbing more wide receivers is never a bad option. Prefer if they grab a right tackle, but I think a lot of tackles already went off the board at this point. Philadelphia Eagles get Latu, who just had a monster game this past week. Granted, it was against Coastal Carolina, but it was 10 pressures, 3 sacks. Just disgusting. Of course, medicals are going to be the big concern with him. But don't be surprised, if he ends up being a first-round pick. I mean, we saw it with Jalen Phillips, who people recommended, oh, you should stop playing football because of the concussions. Granted, with Latu was a neck injury, so maybe a little more serious there. But we've seen guys come back to neck injuries and be able to play at a high level in a variety of different sports. So Eagles just kind of get richer here at the edge. It's kind of ridiculous. And then with the final pick, Kansas City Chiefs, they take Riley Mills. Full disclosure, haven't watched Riley Mills. I did go ahead and write a background on him and look into him. Just so because normally I go into these and I'm just and I don't mind finding players. Oh, I haven't watched this guy. Oh, if this guy's high on him, I should go ahead and give him a dedicated watch. I haven't gotten around to him, but I do have just a little background if you're not familiar with him. Apparently, he could be this big riser. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of the 2020 class out of Illinois. Participated in the shot put and discus in high school. Went to Notre Dame. He was 270 when he first arrived at Notre Dame, and it has slowly been getting that weight up. Obviously, he's now at 306. But he was almost immediately a heavily utilized rotation player. His freshman year, he played in 9 games, had I think about 290, I think, snaps. So very heavily used in the rotation. That number just went up in 2021, where he even had I don't even think he had a start that year. But then in 2022, last year, he had 9 starts. He made Bruce Feldman's Freaks list. Well, apparently he made it in the top 10. So definitely someone I need to go and watch. I think I might wait till Notre Dame plays competition, good competition. Though I do think they have USC coming up. So eager for that. But I love getting new names to keep an eye out on. But this video's gone pretty long, but I'm sure y'all like draft content, so I hope y'all enjoy it. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing, and as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.